Hi, and welcome to another episode of cooking for myself. Although this time I'll be cooking for myself and two more in my family, at least one more. And what we're going to be doing today is a torta, Mexican torta that has refried beans and cheese. And it's really a classic dish in Mexico. Tortas are just baguette bread or other type of bread, and then they have all this different things in the middle. But this is a classic that has refried beans and cheese. So we'll be doing the making the refried beans, and making the sandwiches. Okay, hope you guys enjoy this one. Okay, we're ready to start, and we're going to turn on the stove to cook our refried beans. And like the other day, we wanted to let it warm up. We've got the beans here already cooked. Another day we'll make the beans as well. There's just enough to make the beans. These are the same beans I used the other day for the fish, and it was quite good. So we've got other stuff we were cleaning here. Got the bread, the knife for the bread. We've got the bread. It's delicious baguette. Gonna use homemade mayo, some mustard, and come back here for the beans. This should be going well. I'm going to use regular oil for this. Should be hot now. Let's do that test. It's just fun. You can see water dancing around. This needs to be hot because we're going to refry the beans. So we're going to put some oil in here. Don't let it get too hot because you're going to put the beans in there now. Whoa, that's quite hot. Let's put this aside. And now, this is really easy to do. We just want to make sure that we have enough salt here. I think they do have enough salt. They already were a little salty, and you want to use one of these mashers like this one. This is you'll find them, but this is a potato puree masher, but it needs to be quite sturdy. So what you do is you're just holding the pan, you're just going to mash the beans, and these are just normal beans cooked in water, and I cook these beans in a pressure cooker. It takes about 14 minutes plus the time that you need to soak the beans for. And I was reading today that if you get fresh beans that are less than a year old and they're from a reputable or somebody you know, then you don't need to soak the beans to cook. So we're gonna try to get some fresh beans, dried fresh beans that are under a year old. And the older they get, the more inconsistent they are, so the more you need to soak them. I also realized that if you don't want to have gas with your beans, you need to be very careful regarding the way you soak these. You soak the beans, because sometimes if you soak them for too long, they start fermenting, And I have to look at the science about that, but in my experience, what happens is if they ferment for too long, then, you know, that's when you're getting a lot of gas. But we also, here in the house, we use a herb called Epazote, which is a Mexican herb that gives it a really nice flavor, and as supposedly it also reduces the gas. So we're not gonna totally refry these beans, but as you can see, they're, you know, the water's evaporating, and we could even put a little bit more oil. It just makes them taste better. And anything fried is just amazing, honestly. So we're gonna see, they should start just not sticking to the pan. And there'll come a time, maybe one day we'll have a recipe for making really hardcore refried beans, but we'll let these boil for a little longer. Now we're gonna prepare the bread. We're at it, and I'm gonna make three sandwiches here. So 1, 2, 3. This bread is, they probably baked it today. And 3. There you go. And let's see how these things are doing. See how they're getting nice and crispy. That's exactly what you want. Maybe this spatula is not strong enough. We'll grab another. My favorite spatula. They're getting a little dark brown. It's exactly what you want. We use these both. I don't know if I want to call it a caramelization. I think that's what it is. The Maillard effect on the beans. You can see this part here. And this is like the bottom of the rice when it gets crispy. This flavor here. So these are pretty much done. I'm gonna let them cook a little bit. This is high heat, so I'm gonna let them cook a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Otherwise they'll dry out too much. I'm just gonna turn it off and leave them in the pan. Now we're going to get a spatula, another spatula to put the mayo. We need mayo. That's too bad that we don't have any more regular mustard, but that's a very important part of the dish, to have a little mustard. the mayo in. Another day we can also do homemade mayo. It's very easy to make. And last one. And then, let's see. We don't have enough mayo here. Okay. We can squeeze a little bit of mayo out of here. Should be good. Just for a little flavor. Yeah, should be good. And then we're going to put some pickled jalapenos. Just not for my son, but for me. And my wife. And then we just need the beans. And the cheese. So we're gonna put the beans. Let's make some room here. Some room. Gonna grab some cheese. We already have an open package of cheese here. Gonna use this nice cheese. Gonna put the beans in here. So just lather them on. Can't be shy with this. It's almost like a burrito, but better. I think I want another jalapeno here. And because the beans are hot, the cheese will melt. Getting a little bit of the shadow. I'm still working out all the kinks with the camera, but I want to make this series and all these recipes so simple. You can do it. I would be done now if I were only making one. But you see how easy it is to make a few of these at the same time. So we're gonna put some cheese in. Usually this is done with, you use panela cheese in here, which is a type of fresh cheese. This is kind of fresh cheese too. Fresh cheese is better with this dish. You want the freshness of the cheese to contrast with the beans. I'm gonna put some wedges here. And this is very healthy and very, you've got some oil there, but in general, it's a very healthy dish. and very enjoyable afternoon snack or mid-afternoon snack. And this is done. So, okay, I'm gonna take a bite for the video. Hope nobody's upset with me. You can see we've got our sandwich here. Oh my God. So good. Nope, I can't. I need another bite. It's so good. It can get a little messy. Just push everything back in. Okay, enjoy.